you know.
1994, you take one of the biggest steps in your life. You turn down a chance to reunite with Coach Smith at Missouri. You also decline an offer to go to Memphis State and two other schools.
Wow.
And then you choose to replace your best friend, Paul Palcic, at UCLA in the Pac-10. So we mentioned you switching from Pac-10 rivals Arizona to USC, but now you go into USC's crosstown rival UCLA. And then you end up facing your former player at USC, offensive tackle Todd Bozelli, who becomes an All-American while you're coaching against him and becomes a first-round NFL draft pick. Talk more about that whole overall step in your coaching career, how you go back into college and then you end up switching allegiances to one of college's biggest rivalries at UCLA.
Well, I was thankful for Coach Donahue, as I said before, but um, you know, your loyalties where you're working,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
that first year it was difficult playing against a lot of kids you recruited,
Oh yeah.
and you develop a rapport with those guys and a bond, and I always felt that it was important that you had a relationship with those kids, and it was an eye opener, and it was hard, and it was really a hard week when we played in those games, and it was tough because it was important to me, and the
Yeah.
players on both teams were important to me, and it ended up being my kids were in a nurturing age and in starting high school, and obviously the kids that they went to school knew about it. It was in the community in Santa Clarita. It was important, and but you have to do the job that you're paid to do, and I did. I still take pride in that. Um, there's very few people that have actually coached in the Pac-12 as long as I was fortunate to coach in the Pac-12 or in Pac-10. And there was, as I said, I believe that maybe when Foster Anderson, an old-time UCLA guy, coached at both places, I believe in the late 70s, early 80s, maybe. But I know Bob Toledo and I were two of the first to have coached on both sides, and I believe the only guys that have coached in a Rose Bowl for both schools, I think. But it is great. It was somebody growing up in Southern California that
Oh
that
yeah.
has a real admiration for rivalries, and it was great.